Hello, and welcome to Historical Humans Reads, where we take primary sources and bring them to your screen. I'm Colum Coleman, and today we are reading from an Icelandic saga, a uniquely Nordic blend of history and myth, telling the story of the people of the Laxriverdale for 150 years. This story is, of course, the Laxdaela Saga. Written in the 13th century, it features the powerful and controversial Lady Gudrun, whose loves and intrigues recontextualize an era defined by change within the Viking world in a very personal way. Today, we will be reading chapters 1 through 3 of the Laxdaela Saga as translated in 1880 by Muriel A C Press. With that, let's begin. Chapter 1 of Ketil Flatnose and his descendants, 9th century AD. Ketil Flatnose was the name of a man. He was the son of Bjorn the Ungartered. Ketil was a mighty and high-born chieftain, or herseer, in Norway. He abode in Romsdale, within the folkland of the Romsdale people, which lies between Southmere and Northmere. Ketil Flatnose had for wife Yngvild, daughter of Ketil Wether, who was a man of exceeding great worth. They had 5 children. One was named Bjorn the Eastman, and another Helgi Jolan. Thorun the Horned was the name of one of Ketil's daughters, who was the wife of Helgi the Lean, son of Yvan Eastman, and Rafarta, daughter of Jarvel, the Irish king. Un the Deep-Minded was another of Ketil's daughters, and was the wife of Olaf the White, son of Ingvild, who was the son of Frodi the Valiant, who was slain by the Svertlings. Jorun Men's Whipbreaker was the name of yet another of Ketil's daughters. She was the mother of Ketil the Finn, who settled on land at Kirkby. His son was Asbjorn, father of Thornstein, father of Surt, father of Sighart, the speaker at law. Chapter 2. Ketil and his sons prepare to leave Norway. In the latter days, Ketil arose the power of King Harald the Fair-Haired in such a way that no folkland king or other great men could thrive in the land unless he alone ruled what title should be theirs. When Ketil heard that King Harald was minded to put him the same choice as to other men of might, namely, not only to put up with his kinsmen being left unatoned, but to be made himself a hireling to boot, he calls together a meeting of his kinsmen, and begins his speech in this wise. You all know what dealings there have been between me and King Harald, the which there is no need of setting forth, for a greater need besets us, to wit, to take counsel as to the troubles that are now in store for us. I have true news of King Harald's enmity towards us, and to me it seems that we may not abide no trust from that quarter. It seems to me that there are 2 choices left us, either to fly the land or to be slaughtered each in his own seat. Now, as for me, my will is rather to abide the same death that my kinsmen suffer, but I would not lead you by my willfulness into so great a trouble, for I know the temper of my kinsmen and friends, that ye would not desert me, even though it would be some trial of manhood to follow me. Bjorn, son of Ketil, answered, I will make known my wishes at once. I will follow the example of noblemen and fly this land, for I deem myself no greater a man by abiding it at home, the thralls of King Harald, that they may chase me away from my own possessions, or that else I may have to come by utter death at their hands. At this there was made a good cheer, and they all thought it was spoken bravely. The council then was settled that they should leave the country, for the sons of Ketil urged it much, and no one spoke against it. Bjorn and Helgi wished to go to Iceland, for they said that they had heard many pleasing news thereof. They had been told that there was good land to be had there, and no need to pay money for it. They said there was plenty of whale and salmon, and other fishing all year round there. But Ketil said, "Into that fishing place I shall never come in my old age." So Ketil then told his mind, saying his desire was rather to go west over the sea, for there was a chance of getting a good livelihood. He knew lands there wide about, for there he had harried far and wide. Chapter 3. Ketil's sons go to Iceland. After that, Ketil made a great feast, and at it he married his daughter, Thorun the Horned, to Helgi the Lean, as has been said before. After that, Ketil arrayed his journey west over the sea. Un, his daughter, and many other relations went with him. That same summer, Ketil's sons went to Iceland with Helgi, their brother-in-law. Bjorn, Ketil's son, brought his ship to the west coast of Iceland, to Broadfirth, and sailed up the firth along the southern shore till he came to where bay cuts into the land, and a high mountain stood on the ness of the inner side of the bay. But island lay a little way off the land. Bjorn said that they should stay there for a while. Bjorn then went on land with a few men and wandered along the coast, and but a narrow strip of land was there between fell and foreshore. This spot he thought suitable for habitation. Bjorn found the pillars of his temple washed up in a certain creek, and he thought that showed where he ought to build his house. Afterwards, Bjorn took for himself all the land between Staff River and Lavafirth, and abode in the place that ever after was called Bjornhaven. He was called Bjorn the Eastman. His wife, Glaflang, was the daughter of Kjalak the Old. Their sons were Ottar and Kjalak, whose son Thorgrim, the father of Feitstyr and Vemund. But the daughter of Kjalak was named Helga, who was the wife of Vestar of Ir, son of Thoroth the Ladder Skull, who settled Ir. Their son Thorlak, father of Stenthor of Ir. Helgi Bajolin brought the ship to the south of the land, and took all of Keelness, between Kolafirth and Walefirth, and lived at Esbjerg to old age. Helgi the Lean brought his ship to the north of the land, and took Islesfirth, all along between Mastness and Roaness, and lived at Kirstness. From Helgi and Thornun, all Icefirthers are from. This has been an excerpt from the Laxdaela Saga on Historical Humans Reads. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more excerpts from original texts, please subscribe to be notified of the next one. If there is a work you would like to hear, be sure to like this video and leave a comment listing it below. Thank you for listening.